and never wanted to leave. Oh, hi. Sorry. See, that's what they get for scheduling a game so close to Game of Thrones. But anyway, hello. Welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Jayzon, and today I'm joined by my excellent co-catster, Ysera. And we've got a Division D West match with massive playoff implications. The Baddest Dudes versus Disturbance, currently tied here in the D West standings for 8th place. So winner is going to go on to the playoffs, and the losers tonight will go home and be done for the season here for Season 6. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of nice because they'll get to watch more Game of Thrones. But you do still want to go out into those playoffs. Worth noting that the 8th seed will be facing the number 1 seed, so whoever wins this match is still going to have an uphill battle as the playoffs start tomorrow. I would know something about that. My team also in 8th place in B West. So Thursday night, we're going to get the pleasure of facing off against virtual Murky Slayers. Should be a fun one to watch there, but we are currently getting the teams into the lobbies. Looks like we're waiting on a few members of Disturbance, but we've got the captains in here, and they're putting together the lobbies. It should be just a couple minutes. What do you think of this matchup, huh? Huh? What do you think? What are you thinking? Which one do you like? Disturbance or the Baddest Dudes? No, she's just cute. She doesn't have an opinion, but that's okay. Yeah. What are you doing? Alright, so first map tonight is going to be Volskaya Foundry, so should be pretty interesting to see a pretty high team fighting map here, as we do have a lot of team fights over these control points that end up getting dragged out. And Bummer Not, welcome to the stream. I see you, but I've never seen that emote before. What do we got here? PD's a roll. Alright. And Tudimos rooting for the Baddest Dudes. That makes sense. I demand a hat. Oh, where's the Abathur hat? Well, see, yeah, I was worried that might happen. We scared the cat away. See what y'all did? Let's see if I can still put this thing on. There we go. Alright, fine. It's going to block my NGS seal. Maybe I'll just cast like this the whole rest of the day. Are you going to come back? You wondering what the heck is this thing on my head? She's like, I've never seen you wear that before. It's true. I think she may not have, because she hasn't been around that long. She's definitely curious. Best team in the bot 10 in Div T West. That's fair. No, wait, you guys are not in the... Oh, in the bottom 10. I got you. Gotcha. Best team maybe at the bottom of the top 10. Wait, what? I'm confused. After the game, I get hammered, says Tootie. Okay, well. I mean, maybe better than before the game. Depending on how well you play, maybe it's better before. I don't know. Could be either way. Akhtar is right about the kitty. Yeah, I know. She didn't like me moving around. She usually doesn't. Like I've gotten some pretty gnarly scars from just moving just a little bit. She's a little bit twitchy. And now she's ripping up a box. Feels good, man. I don't know how much more vamp I got in me, but I'm going to try. We got one more we're waiting on. We've got pretty much everybody in here. Alright, there we go. I may or may not just take this thing off the minute that we go into the draft, but I don't know, we'll see. No one pay attention to the guy who's not even on screen. Alright, we're getting the readies out from people. So I think we're about to get underway here. Both these teams have played an entire season, all leading to this one match. Winner takes all in this best-of-3 series. You don't got to win both in a row. You just got to win 2 out of the 3. And they will be going to the playoffs. Either way, both teams not going to get higher than the 8th seed. There's a pretty big gap, actually, between 7 and these two teams tied at 8th. So it really is just winner take all. But let's get on in here to the first map, Volskaya Foundry. First pick, first ban, going to go over to Disturbance. Man, this thing is itchy. It's because I haven't worn it in a while. But hello, everybody. Welcome. Should be a very interesting match between these two squads. Disturbance, of course, has been a little bit underrepresented in the casting department this season. I went on a little bit of a casting spree, like a replay casting spree for these guys earlier in the season, because I just noticed that we kept missing them on the sheet. So nice to be able to get in their playoff match at the very least. And I thought I had that lower. That's kind of strange. Oh, it's because I'm on the in-game. Where's my draft screen? There it is. I knew I had it somewhere. These are all out of order. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I was set up for replay casts, but not this. Alright. So, first bands coming out here. Kelthos, Gul'dan, and Orphea. So, both teams just saying no thank you over and over again to these mages.
New follower detected.
Gel Kanak, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And by the way, let's get rid of the Monday Night Showdown thing. It's a big match. One might even call it a showdown, but it's definitely not a Monday Night Showdown. Raynor going to be the final ban out here, so Disturbance denying more of the AoE burst style damage, while the Baddest dudes kind of denying more of that sustained style damage to start. It's interesting patterns starting to emerge, but Azmodan gonna be the first ban, and this is a pretty good map for him. It's okay, Jason. Boongans are here to support you. Well, yeah, and it makes sense because if I remember correctly, you guys are about to face whoever wins this match, so it's definitely a match I would be watching if I were you guys. And as for Zego, how do you become a caster? Well, my friend, just go ahead and post anywhere in the NGS Discord and tag at Jason or at Weenus, and we'll get you all set up. There is a specific channel for caster signups, which might make it a little easier to find you, but yeah, we'll get you all set up and ready to maybe start casting some matches, maybe some replays to get you warmed up a little bit. But let's get back into the draft. We got Anna and Sylvanas picked up for the Baddest dudes. I love Sylvanas on this map. So strong with her Merc Queen, being able to power up those turrets. And Anna, of course, with the sustained healing, just so difficult to deal with on these points. You have to be able to dive to get to her. So we see the response from the side of Disturbance with Diablo and Rhaegar, two of the more divey heroes in the game. So should probably change my name back to Mantis. Okay, well, fair enough. Sonya gonna be picked up, or banned out, I should say, for the Baddest dudes. Picked up in terms of, you know, the bans. Good frontline hero, but we don't see her as much on this map because there's not much to get her extra sustained value when she's on these points. But Jaina gonna be banned out, so a triple mage ban here for Disturbance. They basically just don't want to see any mages on the other side of the field. So unless we're seeing Chromie come out from the Baddest dudes or Kel'Thuzad, I think they're good at this point. You might even put Azmodan in that same category, but he's on Disturbance's side already. And Johanna and Thrall are going to be picked up now for the baddest dudes. So giving them some good sustain and front line there on the point. Going to give Anna a little bit of room to operate, I think. Johanna pretty good at holding the line up in front. But boy, if Diablo can get past her, which is not too overly difficult. There's only the condemn in the early game to even stop, to do anything to stop him. He can get back to Anna pretty easily, and Varian, another good dive hero. Meanwhile, they're going to round it out with Zul'jin as the backline damage here for Mambo. And Zul'jin, of course, just able to shred frontliners, but is a little bit susceptible to the blinds of Johanna. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. One small counter, or potential counter, and there's Nazebo, by the way. Pretty much the only mage-like hero left on the board, so I'm going to pick that up for Savior. But taking a look at the Sylvanas, that Wailing Arrow can be a bit of a counter to Zul'jin's Tazdingo if you do it right. If you just kind of pop him with it, it's a pretty long silence, and he can't use that Tazdingo. So it's really all about timing on both sides, but be interested to see if they are able to make that work. Meanwhile, Arrow of the Storm raiding with the party of 10. Thank you very much for that raid. I appreciate it. For some reason, my alerts are not doing raids right now. I will have to fix that. It's on my list. But Arrow, I see you. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. If you're just tuning in, this is the match here in Div D West to decide who will be the final 8th place seed for the playoffs. So winner takes all. A 2-1 will do it for either team. And let's get on into game number 1. On the left, we've got the baddest dudes. Tootie Moss going to be playing the Ana. Randy Taker going to be on the Johanna. Hack Trick going to be on the Thrall. You got me, buddy. You got me. Cactus Ham going to be on the Sylvanas. And Savior123 going to be on the Nazebo. Meanwhile, on the right, we've got Disturbance. We've got Captain Roberts on the Diablo. Kurt's playing the Azmodan. Wraithling on the Varian. Mambo going to be on the Zul'jin. And Belial going to be on the Rhaegar. Let's get on in here and see what these teams are starting to build. Pretty standard across the boards from what I can see so far. Toad build coming out from Nazebo, which is what I expected. Some sprays, some B-steps going on early. Interesting pick at level 1, Feast on Fear. A little bit of a change from what we've seen in the past. We've seen a lot of standard Diablo play with the increased healing off of the globes, which can be pretty good on this map, especially with the well taps being so available during the map objectives. But I've been seeing a little bit more diversity there at level 1 recently. 10 stacks so far for Azmodan on those globes. He's going to be looking for some extra basic attacks to try and stack that up a little bit. And you see it there, getting a few extra stacks. And High King's Quest coming out for Varian. So usually an indicator that Wraithling will be going with the Windblades a little bit later on, but you never know. Could mean a great number of things. Totem from level 1 on Belial. I like that upgrade for Totem. Gives you a little bit of extra CC potential with that range increase. And on this map, it's pretty small. You don't have to have too much rotational power, so that extra speed at 1 doesn't get that much value. So I like that. I like that choice. 2 stacks so far. And worth noting the level 1 for Sylvanas as well. Might of the Banshee Queen. Going to be going with that increased attack speed potential. Kind of building in towards that Nexpert's Ryokai build that we've been seeing popping around NGS ever since that episode of Nexperts came out a couple weeks ago. Which is a build I like. It's my favorite build for Sylvanas, and it does have quite a lot of team fight damage, though not as much burst potential. It's more sustained style damage. The baddest dudes picking up their camp nice and early here, so they're going to have that turret. That's going to be a big point of contention as we see the level 4 come in. Mercenary Queen for Sylvanas. She's going to be able to pick up the extra 60% damage if she's in the area when that turret goes down. Mambo taking a ton of damage though, and there it is. That good sustained damage coming in from Hack-Trick and from Cactus Ham on the Sylve, and they're able to blow him up there. Now, worth noting that is first blood, but Zul'jin will be back well in time for this control point, but it is going to give the Baddest dudes the chance to go ahead and grab this support camp, so they're going to have that biotic emitter as an advantage here for the first of these control points, and they're also going to have superior positioning to start, so they're going to start their charge. Now, one thing I will note about Disturbance's comp here, very late game oriented. You've got Diablo that's looking for souls. As soon as he's up to 100, he's going to be at his max power, but that's not going to be for a little while yet. Asmodan, of course, stacking. High King's Quest is going to be stacking. And by the way, it is actually Colossus Smash. It is not Windblades. But he'll be getting more and more powerful as he gets that High King's Quest done. And also, of course, Zul'jin gets stronger as the game goes along. The Z-Ball on the other side also builds pretty late, as the Sylve. But Biotic Emitter down. One of the only turret for Disturbance already dropped here. And teams are just kind of going back and forth, but the Baddest dudes are getting the percentage here. Randy Taker taking a little bit of damage off of that charge. Wraithling getting kind of low on the inside of that, though, and will be the first to fall. As again, Anna just kind of healing up everybody here in that Shrike mode. Captain Roberts does go in, though, and gets the Sylve down. There's going to be a bit of a turn here. A ton of damage coming down onto the members of Disturbance, but I think they're going to be able to back out, get a little bit of healing from Belial, and they do cap the point, so they are charging a little bit here, but the Baddest dudes do have that on 99%, so Disturbance is going to have to be able to stay in here for the entire time, and Captain Roberts incredibly low on health, and Belial is just not really equipped to bring him back up. He is more of a slow AoE healer, and just not equipped to every time he heals, it's like giving him about 5%. That's not a very long cooldown for that chain heal, so. And we also see the camp up in the top lane getting a little bit of value there, pushing in the top. Level 7s are now in for the Baddest dudes. This is where they kind of want to force. They have the turret. They will put it down. Cactus Ham is back to empower that. And a big grenade coming in there from Tudimos. Diablo ends up falling, but Hack-Trick getting very low. Belial on the chase. Can't get far enough in to get him, though, but Sylvanas is going to end up going down. Wraithling getting low, being shot down by that turret, and Belial is going to fall on the back end of that. So right now it's a 1 for 2, but so many members are low here. A big globe from Kurtz could turn this whole thing around. It's double overtime right now. Next person that gets the cap fully on this is going to end up winning. And look at that globe Hack-Trick, so low, but they can't finish him off. Tootie just slowly healing up the team. The Biotic Grenade going to be a big deal. Wraithling dives in, but is going to end up going down. The globe, though, just knocking him down. Captain Roberts is back. And that is going to be it. Disturbance going to go ahead and get themselves the first Triglav Protector. And ladies and gentlemen, 5 for 5 on the kill count. These teams back and forth so evenly matched. If that's how the series is going to start, how is this thing going to finish? So we will see them going into mid. This is a very aggressive move onto this mid fort. Typically, you'll see a lot of teams take the front wall and then look to go up the top, but Disturbance is just on it here. They're going to end up taking a lot of damage, though, between the combo. Oh, but Rhaegar gets sniped with the death beam on the back side of that. The Baddest dudes do have a lot of counter siege potential with the Nazebo Frog, the Sylvanas damage. Thrall, of course, is kind of in the side soak, but can put a lot of damage on this thing. But front wall and the top will go down. They will get that turret that everybody really wants to get here in preparation for control point B up in the top. And it looks like Disturbance will walk away. But it's worth noting that the Baddest dudes are staying in this on XP. They're right dead even with Disturbance for the XP gains here. Hack-Trick doing a nice job splitting off and getting a little bit of extra soak. And yes, Ektar, you're right. Very messy team fighting to start, but that's what we love about Div D, right? They just go for it, man. You know, no fear in these players. And to be honest with you, this is the last. If you lose this match, this is your last game of the season. So I expect these teams to leave it all on the table both in terms of their drafting and their playing. No reason to hold back. 180 stacks right now for Kurtz, and I'm starting to feel like that might end up being a bit of the difference in this matchup, because he is just stacking like a monster right now as they reach level 10 on both sides. And, you know, Dezebo, only 56 stacks here in the beginning. That's not really the pace that you want for level 10, as he tries to get that quest to 175 by level 20 to be able to take advantage of that. He even went with Ravenous Spirit here. But let's look at these 10s. We got Ravenous Spirit along with Eye of Horus, Wailing Arrow, Sunder, and Blessed Shield for the Baddest dudes. Meanwhile, for the side of Disturbance, it's going to be Apocalypse, Ancestral Healing, Taz Dingo, Blackpool, and of course we saw the Sea Smash earlier from Baron. Pair that with Shield Wall. Oh, meanwhile, the charge in onto Savior. He's going to get very low. And Tudimo's not going to be able to save him there. Good use of the grenade, but ultimately just not enough. They even dropped the turret to try and help defend him. But that maybe is a bit of a panic button there. Because now they're not going to have that turret set up for the next objective. And Disturbance starting to look like they're gaining a little bit of a foothold here. Off the heels of that kill onto Nazebo, not only is he not going to be able to continue stacking, as he's in the death penalty box, if you will. But he is also, of course, not in a position to help his team defend against that grab of the support camp. Captain Roberts looking for somebody. He is completed on his Soulstone quest, so he's got that 100 souls. He's maxed out. We see 22 of these You Want Axe stacks done here for Mambo, so he's making good progress. And again, we mentioned it before, Kurt's done with the first half of that Globe of Annihilation quest at the 200, but going to continue stacking up towards that 400 as they head into the late game.
Terminal activated. Take control of it.
So, control point B is activating here. Level 13 now in for both teams, so the Baddest dudes can look to make a little bit of a push here. And we'll see forward posturing here for Disturbance. So doing a nice job of zoning the Baddest dudes away for the moment. But eventually I think is going to come to a head. They had Sylvanas side soaking for that 13, so I think they're just waiting for Sylv to come up here, and then they're probably going to charge on in. Rondi Taker taking a little bit of extra damage there off of that wall, but of course healing going to come in from Tootie, and it's Johanna, so she's going to be just fine. 66% now on it, but they're going after Kurt. They dive in with that divey style they sort of have on that front line, but the Apocalypse comes out on the other side, and the damage coming down, gonna take down Sylvanas. We do have a turret on the left on the floor as well. Tudimos gonna be caught out a little bit too far there, not able to retreat as fast as the rest of the team, so that's gonna be a quick 2-0. Wraithling gonna pick up that turret off the floor that was left by the Baddest dudes, and just like that, Disturbance gets themselves a second of these protectors. He's now going to be marching in towards the top lane. Gets the fort pretty much for free. Still 85% on the health as the first turret in the top, off this top keep front wall goes down. Now the whole front wall is gone. Get a little bit of damage on the keep as well. And now the question is, do they keep pushing? Big globe coming in, chunking the members. We're going to have Captain Roberts on the follow-up. Rondi Taker so low here, but going to make it out for now. But that allows the Punisher, or the Protector, to get a lot of extra damage onto this keep. They're not going to quite finish it off, but we'll see the Eye of Horus going to try and maybe get a cheeky kill on Captain Roberts, but I think he's going to run out of charges before he gets through that big health pool. Meanwhile, Wraithling just kind of doing the side soak thing. Twin Blades Varian maybe a little bit better for that, but you know, he's doing just fine. He's doing his job down here. Getting the XP advantage. Level 16 is going to be in very quickly for the Baddest dudes. They've got a firm hold on this matchup right now. Meanwhile, Camp's being grabbed by Disturbance on 2 different points of the field. I like that call. When you know the enemy team is not going to want to fight you and you have level 16, you can feel free to split a little bit of your resources around, because it's probably not too risky. The Baddest dude's most likely not going to go on the aggressive until they get 16. As long as you're not showing it too obviously that you're split all over the place. And then you're also ready for the disengage if the entire team does come, but good macro play here from Disturbance. Meanwhile, they see multiple members of the Baddest dudes up in the top lane, so they're going to go ahead and come down, get the well, get the fort here in bot. Another great call. They grabbed that camp up in the top, so they knew the Baddest dudes were going to rotate to clear that. They just full 5-man commit down here. And again, you know, what can the Baddest dudes really do about that? No level 16, so they didn't want to take that fight under the fort, even if they had all 5 members there. And now this camp in the top is going to pretty much be for naught, as Disturbance will be able to rotate in time to clean that up. So just good solid macro play, but it's worth noting that the Baddest dudes do now have level 16. Control point C is going to be coming up any time now. I expect this ding to be going off for the 30-second mark anytime. See, it would have been cooler if it had hit just right there, but I will say this much. One of my least favorite things about Volskaya Foundry is how long gaps are, but look at the rotation coming in from Disturbance. They thought about spearing him right from the side, but the side better of it. They're going to take the slow way down the treadmill. And the Baddest dude's saying no thank you to that exchange. And there it is. It literally feels like it takes forever. Like, all the camps are gone. They've been soaking for like 3 levels now. It just seems like it takes forever. Worth noting on this this build, by the way, for Cactus Ham, severely damages the wave clear potential. That level 4 is so important for heavy wave clear maps. But the Baddest dudes have good wave clear between the Nazebo and the Thrall, and the as well as the Johanna. So it's a good time to take it. Oh, look out! They're gonna find Patrick on the back end. Gets hit by that globe as well. The Sunder to try and counter, but Ravenous Spirit coming in, dealing a bunch of damage on the backside. We are going to see. Actually, it's a 1. It's a 1 for 0. Oh no, Diablo fell as well. So a 1 for 2. The Baddest dudes with a massive response there, hitting all the R buttons. They didn't get a whole lot of advantage out of the Ravenous Spirit, but all of the other heroics gets them that team fight win. But it's worth noting they lost the keep up in the top lane. Again, that wave clear factor coming in for Cactus Ham wasn't quite able to clear enough of that top wave to be able to protect the keep. And now the core is actually going to get a little bit of attention here as a big wave comes in with 2 catapults. And Tunimos is just like 0 health here. We'll be able to actually get back up to about 1/3 of his health. But 1 globe could be enough at this point, especially as it's approaching 400 and level 20s are coming in soon for Disturbance. They should be able to pick this up soon, but not soon enough for the Protector. And they decide not to go in. They didn't have Wraithling back yet, and that makes sense. I think that's a good play. You can defend here. You've got forts and keeps in every lane. You've got pressure up in that top lane that eventually the Baddest dudes are going to have to respond to. So for now, they just put down the turret. They've got good counter siege. They are ripping in to this Protector. And there's the globe finish as well. So nice job by Kurtz here, finishing before level 20. Worth noting the Zebo is doing decently on his stacks. 144 now as they approach level 19, so could have that 175 done by the time things are all said and done. Things clearing out pretty well up here in the top, but look out, Tudimos pretty low. The Hellgate flip from Captain Roberts is on point there. We're gonna be able to get him down. Meanwhile, Sager's out in the middle of this lane, gets hit by the globe. Sub 30 health, but he makes it out. Not even close. Not even close for Savior. He knew he's calculated, man. Oh, but the Sunder on the backside. Healing denied there as well. Feels bad, man. Healing just, ancestral healing. It was either on the wrong target or was grenaded away. I think it was going for Wraithling, but level 20 now here for the members of Disturbance. Zebo gonna clean up in the top lane. So now they can look to force in one of these lanes if they want to. They're actually gonna go ahead and steal away the top camp, but with level 20, Disturbance wants to try and force the side of the Baddest dudes into a team fight if they can. They're gonna just settle with grabbing all of the camps in the world here. And this is turning out to be quite a back and forth game one. I will say this much: Disturbance definitely still in charge on this map, but you know the Baddest dudes have shown us that they can definitely hang here. They won that team fight in the bot. They won the objective. They do that again. They could end up going with their level 20s all the way through the bottom area. I like Randy Taker just kind of passive soaking down here. Good call. Denying that XP from Disturbance, but still getting the soak for 20. Everybody just being kind of passive right now. Don't forget the turret, boys. Zebo approaching those stacks, but actually decides to go with the upgrade onto the Ravenous Spirit instead. So Globe coming in and just chunks out Sylvanas. My goodness, that hurts. It hurts to watch. Tudimos gonna end up going down here as well. Caught out a little bit too far. The Apocalypse gonna find two hat tricks very low. Will he make it out? Looks like he's good. He's gonna actually use that bolt to get away. Oh, the damage coming in from the globe again. Credit Zul'jin for the actual kill, but Kurt's dealing so much damage there. They're gonna take that bottom keep, and I think they gotta go core here. They've got more than enough resources to take down this core. And ladies and gentlemen, that is gonna be it. Game one going over to Disturbance here on Volskaya Foundry. Very well played from both of these squads, but Disturbance, you know, they had this kind of late game comp. They definitely played to it, and were able to take the win in style here. So let's go to our match game summary, assuming that it doesn't just give me all zeros, which it tends to do on occasion. Do we get stats? Survey says no. Okay, zeros it is. Well, you know. So basically just chalk it up to a bunch of zeros, but, you know, mainly still a great match from Disturbance there. Oh, wait. Oops. I knew I was forgetting something. I was like, there's got to be something here. All right. We'll just put it like that. That'll work. So, but overall, these two teams very evenly matched. I felt like the Baddest dudes were just a couple of good team fights for winning that whole thing. And yeah, you know, the Azmodan, definitely a problem in that matchup. Dealing a ton of damage, but also the side soak. You know, it's kind of that hidden value of Azmodan that you don't notice right away, where he's always got that general off in the side lane, and you know, able to get a lot of extra XP off of that. And it's difficult to deal with. So I don't know. We'll see what adjustments they may want to make here for the side of the Baddest dudes. We mentioned the Asmo and Varian ban in the chat. That yeah, it could be. I think it definitely would make sense. So I don't know about you guys, but I am ready for this next week. Playoffs going to be starting tomorrow night. And I'll be interested to see when these games get scheduled as well, what our breakdown is going to end up looking like. Because we're going to have Div A still in their regular season games. We've got Insomnia versus Moto already scheduled for tomorrow night, by the way. Has not had a single caster apply to it yet, so if there are any casters watching that want to cast themselves a heroic division playoff match, I'll probably end up producing that stream either way, but I might just end up casting it myself. But if anyone's interested, could be a fun time to do that. Now, I've got a couple matches starting to pop up onto the stream. Gilly Shark versus Excel Esports should be pretty interesting. 6:30 on Wednesday night. Reborn Knights Red versus Logical Decision. That's definitely one that I'll be tuning into, mainly because it's the same one as on our game's bracket. So if we do manage to slay the VMS, the Virtual Murky Slayers themselves, we could end up facing the winner of that team, of that game. Can't counterpick Stupid versus Dat Task, though. That should be an interesting matchup. Let's see, Ginormous Jaegers versus Plug Walk. I'd love to cast that one, but I'll be moving that day, so that's not going to happen. Alright. Well, anyway, looks like we are ready to go here for game number 2. We're going to be going on to Dragonshire. So the question for everybody in chat, though, is what playoff game are you most looking forward to this upcoming week as we start to see these brackets come out? By the way, Bracket Challenge going to be being run by Arthaniu and the Analyst Squad, so be on the lookout for that. Fill out your brackets for the Nexus Gaming Series playoffs. I've always wanted to do a Bracket Challenge, so nice to see that coming together this season. Yes, Ektar, we are the 8th seed in our playoffs. We made it. We made it to number 8 in B West, so we get to play VMS. Nice. A whole bunch of number 8s in here tonight for B, C, and D West. I love it. Well, one of these teams are going to be 8th seed for D West. Let's find out who, as Disturbance looking to close it out with a clean 2-0 to finish out their regular season and earn themselves that spot. But the Baddest dude's going to have to dig deep here and find themselves a reverse sweep if they want that spot and that date with the Boongan squad this upcoming week. And going right back to the same bands, this seems familiar. It was Jimmy that got banned out next by the Baddest dudes. So map pick of the Baddest dudes once again here for Dragonshire. You as well, non-gendered pronoun. I think it's they or them is what we do now, right? So we, I mean, I don't like that it's plural, but that's what we're told to do. And Asmodan instantly picked up again, so they banned out the Varian, which was a point made that last game, but I don't know, was the Varian more the problem, or was it Asmodan? Because Kurt's Asmodan seemed like it was really on point. Not only did he stack up really quick, just felt like he did just a truckload of damage. I didn't actually get to see those final stats. I should just open them up in-game before it closes out, but either way. Phoenix and Muradin coming out, so a bit of a change up here for the Baddest dudes, and Raynor going to come out this time for Captain Roberts along with that Diablo. So a little bit of a change up as well. Wraithling going to be on the Diablo this time around, where he was on the Varian last time. And now with Jimmy not being banned out, they'll pick that up before the turn of the draft here, and the third ban comes out for the Baddest Dudes. And Ana going to be the ban out for the side of the Baddest Dudes. So 2D Moss not wanting that healer back again, but also not wanting to see it on the other side, which cannot blame him. But if you don't want Ana, you definitely don't want the enemy team to have it. She's just so strong right now with that biotic grenade build. I was a little bit surprised it didn't get nerfed in the recent balance patch. But by the way, shout out to Blizzard once again for giving us access to that tournament realm to do some more replay casting, since all of these replays were unavailable in the new patch. But really nice of those guys to be able to accommodate us. So I know I got 2 days off coming up here. I'm going to be doing another couple of replay casting marathons to try and get some more of these matches in while we can. But Sonya going to be the pickup here for the side of the Baddest Dudes, along with the Brightwing. So they wanted that global presence of the Brightwing. We'll often see those divey heroes paired with the Brightwing as well for that Brightwing bomb concept. You put the Brightwing TP onto the frontliner as he's going in, and then Emerald Wind to kind of split up the enemy team. It's kind of like having a pseudo Horrify, you know, it works pretty well, except it does kind of put Brightwing in a precarious position. But you know, if you go with the shield build and you get a little bit extra shield when you go in as well, so you're not too unsafe. You always got Polymorph to help you get out as well. So in response to the Sonya, we're going to see the Malthael, which is an interesting combo. They kind of go back and forth. Sonya wins, I think, a little bit harder when they're in the minion wave, but Malthael wins when they're alone on these points. So it should be a little bit of a shrine advantage for the side of Disturbance, except they've got the Brightwing for the global. They can always teleport up and give Malthael a bit of a problem. And the Junkrat going to finish it out for the Baddest Dudes. So a lot of extra poke, a little bit of displacement possibilities there with the Junkrat. Quite a lot of damage. Just kind of more of a standard comp for Disturbance. So I'll be interested to see who is able to get an advantage here. I like that the Baddest Dudes, upon losing that first game, making some adjustments, trying something a little bit different. For the most part, though, Disturbance's comps looks much like what they had before. You know, Raynor on the backside, a little different because they obviously didn't have access to that last game. No Varian. So instead of going Malthael, who's kind of similar, similar play style. But either way, let's get on into game number 2. On the left, we've got the Baddest Dudes. We've got 2D playing the Brightwing. We've got Randy Taker on the Muradin, Savior 123 on the Junkrat, Hack Trick on the Sonya, and Cactus Ham going to be playing the Phoenix. Meanwhile, on the right, we've got Disturbance, Mambo going to be on the Malthael, Wraithling on the Diablo, Kurtz on the Asmodan. We're going to have Belial on the Rhaegar, and Captain Roberts going to be playing the Jimmy Raynor.
The battle begin.
And into the mid we go. First globe going to be dodged. Well done by the Baddest Dudes. Bribe coming out here at level 1. Or Pixie Charm, I should say, is the actual name of it, but it's Bribe. And Hat Trick in a little bit far there, but the grenade from Savior live up to his namesake there. And it's actually going to be Cactus Ham up in the top lane, so no Sonya versus Malthael. I think Phoenix does a little bit better in this matchup, but I don't know, I guess we shall see. Captain Roberts, meanwhile, finding himself alone in the bot lane. Going to go ahead and inspire some minions, just like the just like it was foretold in the Carbot videos. Hey, man.
You think yourself.
But we do see Disturbance getting a little bit of an XP advantage. Nobody from the Baddest Dudes has even rotated to the bottom lane yet, so they're going to miss one full wave, but get here in time for the entirety of the second wave, at the very least. So it'll be a little bit of a level lead, but nothing to write home about. Randy Taker gonna wander on in to find Belial hanging out in the bush. I'll take a decent amount of damage too as Captain Roberts comes in. That's a 3-man defense squad on this point with 2 in the mid to try to counter Kurtz on that Asmo. Up in the top lane, should be interesting to see who can win this. Mambo definitely winning in the wave clear department. Cactus Ham actually stepping forward to fight him on the point. Gonna have them losing that entire wave. Meanwhile, Muradin gets caught out in the bot lane and taken down, but Mambo getting very low here. Is it gonna be enough damage? No, almost. But they will trade out points for now. Well, Savior in the mid, but good focus from Disturbance. They're taking their advantage where they can get it here in the bot lane. Kurtz, of course, can constantly be putting out these summons to tank more and more of this front wall. Belial also, of course, does have the totem to be able to help with that. And look at how quickly they were able to get down the front wall and the well. It's a big advantage for Disturbance. Again, good macro play coming in from these guys. But Malthael falling up in the top lane to Cactus Ham. So that's first and second blood, ladies and gentlemen, off camera. I apologize. We'll try and get our observer doing a little bit better job here. Unfortunately, he's also the caster and the broadcaster, so I make no promises. Wraithling trying to find somebody caught out there, but Hacktrick gonna spin and win his way on out. Of course, Muradin always has that escape button available. Oh, but Wraithling again with the charge and the stun. Rondi Taker getting very low. Can he get out this time? Looks like he's alright for now. He get knocked down to about 200 health though, but that's kind of a specialty of Muradin. He'll just rotate to a different lane, and by the time he gets there, he'll be good to go. Savior getting charged, and then actually flipped. Wraithling getting kind of low off the exchange, though. So it's a bit of an exchange up in the top. Meanwhile, Mambo gonna have to back after getting beat up here. This is a laning matchup that they are struggling with. Doesn't hurt that we've also got Brightwing teleporting up there every now and then to help out. We'll actually see the side of the Baddest dudes get this point on bot for a few seconds, but we'll be taken back. Savior actually being caught out a bit here. I don't know if he can get out of this. Kurt's gonna get him a big old glow, but it's not enough damage. Hasn't built up enough yet. Mambo does grab the top back, or is about to. Wow, that's close. They do actually end up stepping off it though a little bit, and he's dealing a decent amount of damage to Mambo here. I don't know if the self-healing is going to be enough. This is going to be very close. Cactus Ham actually pulls the ripcord and gets on out of there. Hat-trick trying to get in there to stall. Savior also around, so they've got a decent amount of poke to try to deny this. That grenade will do it just long enough for the 2 members up on top of the Baddest dudes to be able to get that out. Meanwhile, just continuing to poke away at this fort a little bit are the members of Disturbance. Randy Taker going in. Not quite gonna find his mark there. Tudimos actually on a dangerous rotation. Wraithling gonna try and force him out, but the poly is good to get Tootie out of there. Meanwhile, Cactus Ham just kind of having his way with the top right now. Again, forcing Belial to back on out. And he's coming back. Mambo. Belial is the healer. I'm a little confused with all the different Diablo stuff going on here. Well, we do see the side of the Baddest dudes committing 3 to the bot. They're going to take this back. Got a slight level advantage here for the Baddest dudes. They're going to win the race to level 10 at the rate they're going. And well, again, the back and forth here. This is going to be close. But the Brightwing TP going to make sure that Cactus Ham definitely wins. But it actually gets interrupted or self-canceled. I don't know. Oh, it's probably Captain Roberts with the interrupt there on the penetrating round. Saves Mambo's life. He gets back to the Hall of Storms. While Belial up in the top, gonna grab that. Wraithling grabbing it back in the bottom. So in mid, we're all over the place on this map. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst map to observe by far. I'm gonna have to get some tips on how to do this. Oh, but Tudimos getting slowed by the totem. Belial is on him. He actually does the self-cleanse there. Now it's Belial that's in too far. The turn is real. Hat Trick even going back in with the TP. Savior on the backside getting some damage out. Wraithling going to come in to help, and this is turned into a full-out brawl as the Baddest dudes pick up level 10. Look out, Hat Trick ends up getting low though. Sabo on the backside dealing a nice amount of damage as Randy Taker got in, got the slow onto Kurtz with the lightning breath in return. Did I just enter into a tavern brawl? Wait a minute, up in the top lane, Mambo getting just taken out here slowly but surely by Cactus Ham, and there is the kill. Finishing it off with that photon cannon. Wraithling is ready. He's definitely ready.
Has destroyed a fort.
But bottom fort goes down from that camp. Belial is able to grab that, but in the top, Cactus Ham able to convert the top shrine. Level 10's now in for Disturbance as well. Let's see if they give us enough of a break to look at these real quick. We've got Blink Heal, Avatar, Wrath of the Berserker, Riptire, and Purification Sabo for the Baddest dudes. Meanwhile, Disturbance going after Blackpool, Lightning Breath, and look out! Cactus Ham gets taken down by Phoenix, but they've also got the Ancestral Healing, Rainer's Raider, and the Last Rites. Big pickoff there by Disturbance. Gonna deny the Baddest dudes from being able to grab the Dragon Knight. They had both of those capped, but with the 3-man rotation at top, Disturbance able to convert that back over. They send Belial back down to the bot to grab that shrine. And in the mid, look at the rotation here. Phoenix is coming back, but is not quite back here yet. Again, the Lightning Breath coming out, focusing on the back members there, and Sonya ends up going down to a combination of Mambo and Wraithling. Randy Taker getting so low. Gonna have to dwarf toss his way out, but it's Malthael that goes down, and they get the Dragon Knight. Belial with the cheeky cap off the backside of that. Nice job of zoning, so it ends up being a 1-for-2, but Disturbance gets the Dragon Knight. Now, we may look back to that team fight as the turning point here in this match. Yeah, every 12 seconds you just move to a different point. That makes sense. I'll have to get some observing tips here. Trying to figure out how to deal with this. How does Falendrith do it? That's what I need to figure out. 2D down in the bot lane. Soaking away, trying to get level 13 for the Baddest dudes. Disturbance picking it up as the Dragon Knight walks into top. It'd be a good moment here for Disturbance as well if they get this well up in the top lane. Dealing a lot of damage to it. The fire placed down onto it. One more Fire Breath should do it. Never mind. The minions, along with that Fire Breath, is enough. And that's all they wanted. They didn't really need the top fort. Interesting rotation here from Disturbance. They stay in the bush, but you can see the Dragon Knight on the minimap. I like the cheeky steal there by Tudimos with the bribe. It's a nice little denial. Camp being grabbed up here by Disturbance at the same time. Wraithling finding Tudimos out a little bit, but with Hack Trick here, he's just going to go ahead and back out. Doesn't really want any part of that. Cactus Ham picking up the camp on the backside of that. Meanwhile, 3-man push-up in the top lane. A couple members kind of hiding a bit, seeing if Savior comes out. He's going to go ahead and back up to the fort. He should be all right. A little bit of a skirmish here in the bot lane as Cactus Ham finishing off that camp. But looks like both sides of that are going to be okay. Top fort getting just destroyed. Even with the Riptire, this is still definitely a confirmed fort. I don't know if that's necessarily a value Riptire. But oh, meanwhile in the bot lane, Diablo does actually go down. Wraithling out a little bit too far there, trying to make something happen in that 2v4. But they were getting value top, so I think with that trade, you just want to play it a little bit safer there. The Hat Trick going in deep, actually getting a ton of damage dealt to him. He's going to end up going down. Out comes the Lightning Breath as well. Mambo getting a nice ancestral there from Belial. Last rites to take out Brightwing. And Belial on the, actually has the wolf bite canceled there. That's Cactus Ham able to teleport away, but not going to be fast enough to get out. And Disturbance with a big answer.
And the Dragon Knight's power is yours.
And they did get the kill onto Wraithling and trade out his souls, but boy did Wraithling come back with a vengeance there. Now trying to build up those souls, and I'll tell you what, that 2 for... essentially was a 2 for 1, but Disturbance, of course, losing Diablo only for a few seconds and far before the big meaty part of that team fight came out. The Baddest Dudes losing 2 members at maybe the worst possible time. There are going to be 2 members in here in mid to deny this cap point, but it's a 2v3 in the bot. And yes, Larson, I would love to play sometime tonight. For sure, my friend. Don't even think a second time about it. Oof, and Sonya going down hard there. Nice rotation again there from Wraithling. Now he's going to go to the bot to try and help out with this 4v4 that's going on, but the Dragon Knight gets picked up. And ladies and gentlemen, this could be the beginning of the end here for the Baddest Dudes. They are backing up to try and defend this keep. The Wraithling just all over the members of Baddest Dudes right now. Disturbance coming in here with the Dragon Knight. Lightning Breath going to be popped. Going to deal a little bit of damage on the front side. Avatar had been popped, and Murden gets kicked away. Cactus Ham going to have to back out, but Brightwing not able to make it away. Even with that blink heal, not enough. Mambo getting low, going to get hit by that Ancestral though. Brought right back up, and that looks like it might be the beginning of the end. Hat Trick does survive the last rites, but the core is going to start being just ripped apart here by this Dragon Knight. It is only a 13-minute Dragon Knight, but it is getting chunked. Multiple members down for the Baddest Dudes. And Riptide are going to come out, deal a decent amount of damage there. Belial getting a little bit low on the backside with that keep, but that is going to be it. Game 2 and the series going over to Disturbance here on Dragonshire. What a matchup we have seen here tonight. The Baddest Dudes coming out, playing their hearts out, but Disturbance just a little bit better tonight. Good rotations. We're even going to get some numbers to finish out the night, which is always nice. And just looking at the stats sheet, there was a reason that Raynor was banned in game number 1. And again, Azmodan, a big problem here for the side of the Baddest Dudes. XP, really big deal for Azmodan. There's a lot of extra siege potential as well. And yeah, Captain Roberts carrying really hard on the Raynor that game. 4-0 on the stat sheet, always nice to see. And highest hero damage in the game, but you just look at the stat numbers overall, big damage coming out from multiple members of Disturbance. And they're going to get the playoff berth, so they will secure the 8th seed here and go on to face the Boomgun squad. Let's see if we can reach out to Team Captain Wraithling, get ourselves an interview. Give you guys a quick look over these talents as well. As we are now joined by team captain for Disturbance, Wraithling. We've been missing you all season. We haven't been able to see a whole lot of what you guys have been putting on, but here tonight, you guys secured the 8th seed for the Division D West playoffs. How are you guys feeling right now?
Very excited. We've had a pretty rough season, I'd say, going through it, and we won our last game, and we knew that put us in a good position to fight for 8th, so we just came and did everything we could to win, so we're feeling pretty excited.
Yeah, really excellent macro play coming out from you guys. in both of those matchups. I was really impressed to see a lot of the rotations. Seemed like some of your camp grabs were more, were a little bit off-timed at first, but then it looked like you guys were just kind of using that as a rotational tool to get advantages elsewhere. How do you guys feel like you fall in the macro game overall?
I'd say we're pretty low to middle, I would think, on the macro game. We don't have like a real strong map timing, and a lot of the things we did, like I said, in Dragonshire, we were trying to use them as tools to free up lanes where we could fight in other places. So it's not like we've got really strict map timings on when to grab them. We just try to grab them to give us advantage in a lane when we can.
All right, so we saw, first of all, Diablo being highly prioritized for you guys, but also the Asmodan. So a couple of really high priority heroes. We saw Captain Roberts get onto the Rainer as well after it was banned out for game number 1. So would you guys say that you just kind of have those comfort heroes, or are you looking at those more as like good priority picks in the current meta?
I'd say both. Captain Roberts is definitely a strong Rainer. That's like probably one of his mains. And then we just also value Asmodan overall in the current meta.
And we also saw a bit of a role shift. With you playing the Varian in game 1, and I think it was Captain Roberts on the Diablo, and then you guys swapped around. So do you guys do that often, or is that just that hero in particular you guys both have and you swap it around for whatever works?
Well, normally we do have kind of set roles where somebody's playing heal, damage, and actually tonight was a bit different than everything we've done all season, and we just kind of picked hero. Rainer is just Captain Roberts' favorite, so if he's available, we're going to give it to him. And so we had Rainer and Diablo up, so we felt, we feel like Diablo is pretty strong overall, so we like to grab him. And so I just picked that up, and we just felt like we had a lot of good, strong draft picks those matches.
Well, and that's a really cool mechanic too, to see who is essentially your main tank. If Captain Roberts is your main tank, forcing a Rainer ban. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we watched them ban Gul'dan and then Rainer, and was like, well, are they just banning Captain Roberts heroes? And then but the second time they banned Varian, and I felt like I didn't do crap on Varian, so I was surprised to see that ban come out.
I don't know. I felt like the Varian was a problem for them in that game number 1, but the chat also was very supportive of your Varian play. But
wow, I felt like I was getting absolutely demolished all the time, so it was a big surprise to me.
All right. Well, either way, I think the enemy team was definitely scared of it. I personally don't like to see C-Smash ever on the other side, especially when you're like a squishy hero like a Sylvanas, and you got that jump coming at you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the extra stuff that you do for the league. As the main guy on the website. I'm going to give you opportunity for bigger shout-outs, but I thought for sure I would want to point out just a thank you to all the extra work that you guys have done, and see if you want to make any shout-outs specifically for the website.
Just to the board, there's guys, there's a few other guys helping out with that, and to the board, to Mongoose, Murda, and then we've got a couple of other guys on there, as Mad Buddha and Risengard, doing some stuff in the background.
All right. Well, and I actually forgot. I did have one other question. You guys are going in to the playoffs, of course, next week against the Boongan squad, number 1 seeds. Have you guys scouted them out? Do you guys think you have something for these guys?
The last few games we haven't done any scouting. We just kind of played it, and I don't know. It feels like it's doing pretty good for us. So we may nice. Go in just the seat of our pants again.
Faceless opponent. I kind of like it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for my questions. But of course, you guys played great tonight. Congratulations on the win. I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you guys in the playoffs. Do you have any shout-outs you want to make before we apart for the night?
Well, I just shout out to my team and the league, and it's great playing. Everybody has a good time, so just thanks to my team for putting up with me and putting up with the rough season, and now we'll try to do our best in playoffs.
All right. Well, thanks again for coming in for the interview. Great games tonight. Congratulations, and
Thanks, sir.
Have a good night.
Yep, you too.
All right, everybody. Well, that is going to do it for me tonight. Apparently, I have some games to play with Larson, so I'm going to reach out to him in just a minute. But I don't think we have any other casts going on tonight. I'll take a look to see if there's anybody we could throw it to. But one thing I do want to make sure to shout out is, of course, the NGS Patreon. Got to give a big shout out, of course, to Weenus for making that trailer, but also to the Patreon. Feel free to go check those different tiers of rewards out, guys. They're very cool, and there's all kinds of different ways and levels that you can support for NGS. It really does help out quite a lot with running the league, and there are extra projects we're always looking into,